Thank you both very much. I think we do have just a few minutes for questions. So I guess as a biased physical activity guy, I see three business industry groups out there that connect to this issue. One is food and beverage. One is, call it the physical activity industry. That would be businesses that provide services and products that directly support physical activity. And then one that we don't hear much about, which would be the physical inactivity industry, which would be organizations that produce products that may create barriers to physical activity or tend to pull people away from it. And I'm wondering, as you all have engaged with business and industry groups that fall into those three categories, how do you see them responding to this issue?
Well, I guess for me, a lot of it comes down to individual companies more than sectors. So I think it's hard to lump the sectors together. Some of it comes down to leadership and vision from the companies. So you can have different players within the same industry that have a very different approach to this issue. So it's a little bit hard to bucket it in that sense. I do think the big issue that I've seen is what I mentioned, which is that it's been harder to get the trust of the food industry, certainly at first, because the feeling that their feeling was that they're trying to make changes and they kind of keep getting beaten up for it. That's their perspective. And so I think that was something that was more commonly heard, but not as commonly heard now as I think we're making progress. I also think that there are a number of other industries. We heard a panel where they had health plans who are, there's a lot of alignment with health plans on the work that we're doing. So there are a number of other areas. When it comes to industries that maybe entertainment or other things that you may be referring to, we do spend a lot of time talking to them, and as you've seen with the video game industries and others, you see a move in some of those places towards more physical activity, and those are some of the things that we're trying to push, and think that's a real positive. So we're trying to see more of that.
And one thing that I think is going to happen is when we initially started this process, we were all told to stay in our lanes. And now what you're seeing, and I know I have a colleague somewhere from Reebok here who I met this morning, everyone got started at the same time. We all kind of got started 4 years ago on this effort, thanks to the First Lady making this a national initiative. And so as each of us have developed our areas where we could actually make a difference, where we could use the processes that we have, the capabilities that are unique to the industry that we represent, we have now developed what are more mature programs. And I think what we have the opportunity to do through this particular forum is now look at the activities within each of those sectors that you've talked about and start driving them all together. In some cases, we're already very aware and trying to align and not duplicate what someone else is doing, but we actually have the ability to start piggybacking on each other's programming in order to make all of them more effective. So I think you'll see sort of a process where industries are actually now positioned to start working more closely together.
Thank you both very much. We're sorry we missed Dwayne, but we'll try to include him in future activities. Very much appreciate your participation today. Thank you.